So he never really gave me any answer at all. So the journey really has been where I have to continuously define what cosmogony is. And cosmogony, it is the spirituality of everything that has dynamism, which is primarily the ability to transform spiritual content into matter content. Because when we talk about spirit, we are talking about waves, pure waves. And when you have a conglomeration of pure waves all coming together, what you have is darkness. And this darkness is what comprises pure energy, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, so what we are talking about, we have a people who are the Dogon people who are telling the universe, they are telling the universe what pure energy is. I mean, physics goes and describes energy. Okay, and they got it right. They say energy is that which cannot be created or destroyed. That's correct. That's perfectly correct. But what is it then that entails energy? What makes energy? Physics won't tell you. Well, what makes energy is the conglomeration of all these waves. In fact, if you have a pencil and paper, you begin to just on your computer, just make a wave and then keep adding this wave upon itself. Keep adding and then keep adding all these waves. Pretty soon, what you have is darkness. It's all black. You see? So what you have, what waves do when they are together is black. So that's what the dark universe is. The dark universe is all waves. And so the dark universe is all pure energy too. And so when you get into the dark universe, what you have is this pure energy, but then what goes on within this pure energy is what we call wave permutation function. Now, when you get into wave permutation function, you begin now to talk about Dogon cosmogony. So what is Dogon, the formula for Dogon cosmogony? Well, the formula for Dogon cosmogony is very simple, brother. If you have a pen and paper, I'll give it to you. Write it down. The formula is 1, and then put a dash, 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash 4, and then give a space between 4, and then you write 9, and then dash 8, and then give a space between 8, and then you write 27, and then space, and then 99-100. Brother, that's the formula for pure energy. That's the formula for pure energy. And that's the formula for the transformation of pure energy into matter. That's the formula of what created the cosmologic universe. That's the formula that created the cosmologic universe. If anyone gives you anything different, they are lying. That's not true. Even this thing they are running around now trying to prove, the Big Bang theory in that whatever they call in Switzerland over there, the underground tunnel they call in Switzerland. That's just they're just making up stuff. But they are lying. That's not how the universe was created. The universe wasn't created by the Big Bang theory at all. The universe was created. Yes, brother, you have a question?
No, go ahead, brother.
Okay, yeah. The universe was created, was transformed or translated from spirituality into the cosmological universe based on this simple formula. What happens with this formula is that you have waves. The wave begins from a zero, center point, and then it goes through this 1-2-3-4. The moment it goes out of 4, it then causes the wave divides into 2. In other words, if you have a pencil again and paper, brother, just write this down. You write a sine wave, which it starts, it goes up, and it curves around, and then goes down again, and then it comes up. So you have like one like a U shape that is upside down, and then another U shape that is up, looking up. So it cuts itself, and so one of these shapes, let's say, for instance, the U shape that is pointing down, so that comes up, and then it goes into past 4, so that you only have half a wave that then enters 9, and then from 9 it goes to 8. So this is where the permutation begins, where you have the half wave. So this half wave forms what we call flux. So the more of these waves that are cut now, every time they exit 4, they are separated. Every time they get the full wave comes out of 4, it cuts itself. Every time it comes, so you have so many of these things that keep packing on top of each other on 9, and then 9 shift these to 8. So when these fluxes get to 8, then 8 then sends them to 27. So at 27, they wait and then get more and more and more of these half fluxes. So there they begin to form mass, M-A-S-S. So this is how mass is formed. From flux, first you start from wave, and then the wave takes you to flux, and then the flux takes you to mass, M-A-S-S. So from 27 now, you have a whole lot of mass that then is transferred to 99. So when this mass gets to 99, again it's added up, and then it begins to become overweight basically. And then when it really gets to the point where you call critical mass. Now at critical mass, this body now of beginning to form will not be kept inside the dark universe, because inside the dark universe, inside energy, pure energy, you will never have matter. This has to be very clear to scientists. You will never have matter in pure energy, because whenever you have anything that becomes matter, it is kicked out immediately out of pure energy, because pure energy has to stay pure. And the reason why it has to stay pure, like the definition says, it cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. So if it cannot be created or destroyed, why will you have matter? Because matter is something that has to be destroyed. But the only thing now that we carry this matter outside of pure energy has to be forces. So in other words, pure energy has to transform itself into forces to kick this matter out. And so when this matter comes out of pure energy, it becomes a star. And so this is how the cosmologic universe was formed. So you have the first star came out. The moment it came out, because it has so much force driving it out, it began to spin. So the spinning just continued on and on and on. But the key thing about it, brother, that again Western science doesn't know, is that when the star exited the dark universe, the core of the star had darkness, you see. So, and darkness is associated with carbon. So in other words, the carbon that is part of this dark universe, of course, it's not matter in dark universe, but we call it carbon darkness, dark black carbon. So this carbon came out with the star. It really becomes carbon inside the star because it's now matter. So the star then was driven. You ask, well, what drives the star? What makes the star revolve? What makes the star reverberate? What makes the star, gyrate and all these things? And then what makes the star give you light? Oh, yeah. Those are the questions that people need to be asking. What makes the star give you light? Well, what makes the star give out light is because the carbon inside the core of the star is going through another permutation ratio forces. You see, just like the star came out through permutation, the DOGON 1-2, 3, 4, and so forth, is the same thing that the star itself is going through in its core. And so as it goes through this, the flux that breaks out of the carbon comes out, and it comes out as hydrogen. You see? Oh, so yeah. From the core of the star, from the carbon. So in other words, we can say that the first element, instead of what they say is hydrogen, the first element has to be carbon, because carbon is what makes hydrogen. So hydrogen has to be an isotope of carbon. Now, I would like to have a chemist telling me on that. Honestly, but I'd like to have a chemist on your show call and then say, hey, that's not right. Then let them tell me where hydrogen came from then.
Yes.
Tell me where hydrogen came from. See? And so the hydrogen now that comes out of the carbon in the core of the star combines with itself to form helium. And so as this combination goes out, the helium then forms the photon particle that, again, because of the wave component of the carbon, the wave comes out of carbon, and then what does the helium do? The photon particle that was created from helium. Well, what the photon particle does, it piggybacks. It piggybacks on this wave, and then the wave takes it from the star towards the universe. And so this is how we see light emerging from a star. The star then the star shows light where it is. But as this light travels within the dark universe, you don't see the light because the photon particle has changed shape. Initially, the photon particle is round.